Race fans, it's about that time of year where the NASCAR schedule is about to get very hectic, and NASCAR teams and drivers are going to be heading to different locations throughout the country. This week, they're going to go from Charlotte, North Carolina, all the way to St. Louis to race in Gateway. And this track right here is new to the NASCAR schedule. For the Cup side of things, in the past, they've raced here in the trucks, but this time around, trucks and Cup. And while Xfinity heads all the way out to Portland to race on the road course. But today, I am going to primarily focus on the Cup race at Gateway and also talk about a few other things going on around the NASCAR world. But kick back and relax and put your top 5 below to be entered in the Pick 5 contest. But let's get started.
Hey, it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. here at Kroger, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
Before I talk about the NASCAR Cup race this Sunday at the St. Louis Gateway track, I am wanting to talk about something that happened this past week, and I really never touched on it besides a little short video, and that is Project 91. Project 91 intention is to get European and big sport time drivers around the world to come into NASCAR. And this past offseason, Justin Marks kind of threw a couple of hints in there where he went to Europe and took a picture and put it on Instagram or Twitter. And obviously you can think that he's going to have a vacation or something like that. But he did put something up about going to Italy and Switzerland. And that kind of gave it away once it was all said and done, putting 2 pieces to the puzzle together. Because Alfa Romeo is the Formula One team out of Switzerland. And Kimi Raikkonen used to be an Alfa Romeo driver. And he obviously had to live nearby the shop so he can go in frequently and do sim runs and tests and all that good stuff. So when you think about it, Kimi Raikkonen, the new Project 91 driver, living in Switzerland, Alfa Romeo is in Switzerland, that makes sense. So Project 91 is this for this year only in 2022. It's going to be a 1-race deal with Kimi Raikkonen at Watkins Glen. But for next season, however, they plan on getting more drivers into the ride. And I don't know about this decision here by Justin Marks. I know he is a very smart individual, and he's running a very successful team in Trackhouse Racing with drivers Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez. But the teams that are going unchartered are not getting paid as much as they should as the other teams are. So if you win a race, there's a chance 2nd and 3rd place and 5th place might get paid more than you because you don't have a charter. And that's the bad thing about the charter system. It's not, fair for everyone. And if NASCAR doesn't decide to add on more, Trackhouse Racing is going to be throwing a lot of money down the drain. Unless the driver brings in a lot of sponsorship money, which could happen. I would assume will because they're very popular. But I wouldn't count on it. It's crazy how things go. Because European companies might not want it to go to America because they might think that's a bit of a risky gamble there. They might not get the potential viewership that they're hoping for their company on the hood of a race car. So that's where it's going to get very interesting, bringing in drivers from Europe and Asia and South America, you name it. So for now, it's Kimi Raikkonen. Next year can be a handful of drivers. And one of them I look at maybe Sebastian Vettel for Aston Martin Cognizant Formula One team right now. He's entering his final year under contract with the team. And next year, he's probably going to retire. The rumors are leading to that. And he's made it clear when Formula One went to Miami this year that he wants to race on Road America. NASCAR races on Road America on the 4th of July weekend. That could be a good fit for Sebastian Vettel, driving the 91 car for Trackhouse Racing in 2023. You heard it from me first, but that was a little glimpse of Trackhouse Racing Project 91. I was wanting to touch up about that before we went to talk about the Gateway predictions because that is a very big deal, and I think Kimi Raikkonen will have a chance to win the Watkins Glen race later on in the season. He's in a very competitive ride. He's obviously raced in NASCAR before. I like his chances. But now on to St. Louis. Heading into this Sunday's race at Gateway, I look at past experience at the track. But winning this Sunday's race at Gateway will be no other than Chase Briscoe, driving the 14 Mahindra tractor Ford Fusion for Stewart-Haas Racing. Chase Briscoe this year is having a very up and down season. One week he might be contending for the win, and the other week he might be contending for last place. Early on, he picked up a win out in Phoenix, which was a very big upset at the time. No one expected Briscoe to win a race this year, let alone winning at Phoenix, a track which is a big track at the end of the year where the championship is decided. So Briscoe goes to the championship 4, which I'm not ruling it out. He'll need some luck, but that's obviously going to be something you take into account because previous wins at the track go a long way. But he's in the playoffs, and he's obviously made some risky moves. Like, for an example, the Bristol dirt race. If he did not win at Phoenix, he would not have made that little, dive bomb on Tyler Reddick heading into 3 and 4, going for the win. He might have just, decided to take second place and move on to the next week, which was Talladega at the time. And when you go all the way to Coca-Cola 600, Briscoe was fast. The reason they didn't qualify so well because they were set up in race trim, and that went a long way. That's a primary example. The cars up front for the Coca-Cola 600, most of them kind of faded away while the cars that were trimmed out came up front, and Briscoe and Larson, 2 big examples. And it was a terrible week for him at the end when it was all said and done. Going for the win, 2 to go. Overdrove, got a little loose and spun around. But man, he gave it his all. I know the team was frustrated that he didn't get the win, but I'll tell you what, they can hold their heads up high knowing that their driver gave it all for the win. It was either win or go home. But at the time, they spun out, restarted. Austin Dillon had a big run, caused a record for turn 4. They regrouped. Briscoe came home and finished P4. And I know that's going to build up some confidence heading into one of his better tracks when he races in the Truck Series and Gateway. I think he will win. It will be his second career win in the NASCAR Cup Series. But one big factor here is going to be shifting. And Briscoe is one of the better drivers in the Cup Series that is good with shifting and getting the maximum speed out of the ride. And Briscoe will win this Sunday at Gateway. Finishing second will be Kyle Larson in the 5 car. Kyle Larson last year was dominating, winning every single weekend. But this year he only has 1 win to his resume. And it's not because he's doing very bad. It's because his competitive drivers out there are getting better week in and week out with his new car. So it's a lot harder on Kyle Larson to get the job done consistently. This time around, he will finish second. I don't think it's going to be that big of a, annoyance to the team that they'll finish runner-up. But I think there'll be something to hold their heads up high for. They need a good run, and Gateway is a good track to get it done because after that, they got some good tracks coming up. You want to build up momentum for that, Kyle Larson fans. And there you go, Kyle Larson, P2. P3 will be the 1 car of Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain last week at Charlotte was lights out. I believe that was his best Cup race by far. Obviously, he won Circuit of Americas and he won Talladega, but the Coca-Cola 600 was a good race from the 1 car Chastain. He won a stage. He led a lot of laps. Trackhouse racing, getting better. P3 for Ross Chastain. That sounds about right here. P4 will be the 8 car Tyler Reddick. And Tyler Reddick is a driver I want to talk about. Because right now, he is a very competitive driver that can go for wins week in and week out. But there are just sometimes he just, has a little mess up and they can't get things rebounded and their day is over with and they'll finish in 20s or 30s. And that's hurting him right now in the points because he's not in right now currently. And he has to win a race, I believe. Because if he doesn't, the playoff spots will be fulfilled by wins, I believe. Because I think we will see 16 winners right now. We're at 11. We need 5 more. We're going to Atlanta again. We're going to a couple of road courses, going to Daytona. Yes, you best believe we're going to see 5 winners. And Reddick, if he's not one of them, he's going to be the odd man out. And I think he will finish P4 this Sunday at Gateway. Not what they're hoping for, but a step in the right direction, which is always a good sign of things. But finishing P5 here will be Bubba Wallace in the 23 car. And I know a lot of y'all are going to jump to conclusions that Bubba Wallace, can't race. But here's the truth. Bubba Wallace in Gateway in the past has been very successful. And this year, 2311 Racing has got it down on the short tracks. And they're really good. And Bubba Wallace and Kurt Busch, both of them are very good at shifting. And shifting will be happening here in Gateway. So give me Bubba Wallace finishing P5. So Chase Briscoe, Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick, and Bubba Wallace is your whole top 5 from my side of things. But my dark horse, though, will be the 4 car of Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick this year. Man, you talk about up and down. He's coming off a P3 finish at the Coca-Cola 600, the longest race in NASCAR history, 5 hours and 18 minutes, 24 seconds. It is somewhere in that range. Very long, 618 miles. A very long night. He came home P3. I know that had to sting. I know that did, because if he did not wreck earlier in the race with Stenhouse, maybe track position would have been on his side. Maybe he could had to run instead of Denny Hamlin or Kyle Larson or Kyle Busch on that second last restart. That could have been him, but it wasn't. And he was farther back. He had to come up and finish third. So just imagine some of the things that could have worked out for Harvick. This time around, though, they're going to Gateway. I don't believe he's going to go for the win, but a top 5 is very possible. But they do have to get a win at some point, because if they don't, like, what's the point of going to the playoffs? If you're in the playoffs, you got to have a win or two, because you're not going to go to the championship 4 by just stealing a lot of points. Because if you're going to win the championship driver usually wins the race, and they never win it by finishing higher. It's always winning the race. And Harvick, if you can't do that, there's no reason being in the playoffs by points. He's made it clear last year when he went winless. This year, he'll make the same case. I promise you that 100%. But there you go. There's my full predictions for this weekend's race at Gateway. What do you think about it? I think I'm possibly might be right here. So keep an eye on that. And I'm going to keep an eye below in the comment section, because I love to see some of y'all's reactions in top 5. And comment down below to be entered in the Pick 5 contest. And who knows, you may win a prize. Please like and subscribe.